Good morning. Today is Sunday, July 17th, 2023. And today we're going to go over the weekly Bitcoin price forecast. So seeing where Bitcoin went in the last week and where it could potentially go in the future. So this week was a pretty exciting week for Bitcoin. This monthly candle right now, it doesn't really look all that exciting, but there was a lot that happened this week that could propel price to a higher point. So again, we've been going up pretty much all of 2023. We got over the 50 moving average, came back down, retested it, and then rocketed it off in June. And now we're sitting in July, which a little bit of indecisiveness. So for the last week of June and the first 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of July, we didn't really do all that much in terms of actually directionally moving in price. But that's not necessarily always a bad thing. With that, even if you're not moving in price, one thing that's happened is that the moving averages are getting closer and closer to price. So yeah, let's take a look at it a little bit more. So again, going on the weekly chart, again, we've had these three major moves, 3 or 4 weeks. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, where we had major moves this week. So if we look at it, if we zoom in a little bit, let's zoom in a bit. So right here, where's the start of 2023? Yeah, 2023 starts right here. If we look at it, this week we actually hit an all-time high. Not an all-time high, a yearly high, I should say. If you look at it, each of these consecutive weeks, we've been going up a little bit more and up a little bit more and up a little bit more until we hit, I think we hit 31,700 roughly on this last weekly candle. With this, we came up again, retested the 200 moving average on the weekly, couldn't close below it. And at this point, we hit that 25,000. We have not been able to close, if y'all can see this, we have not been able to close below 30,000 on a weekly basis for weeks ever since we got up here. So that's good. That $30,000 level is still holding very strong, and that's what we want to continue to see. So we're seeing somewhat of a little bit of a retracement, somewhat of a pullback. And I think that's fine. So one thing I do want to look at as well is let's go to a different setup. So we'll go to back testing. And then is that what I want to see? Yep, that's exactly what I want to see. So if we look at this, I talked about these parabolas that Bitcoin tends to see. So let's go to the weekly chart. So we look here, and I mean, this isn't a perfectly formed parabola, but you get that swooping effect still, that you see it going up and up. So if we go down here, you realize we came to the bottom of this channel. We broke down, and that was the bottom of it right there at about 16,000, and we got down to like 15.5 maybe. Hit the side of this channel, rocketed up, came down again one more time, rocketed up. Then we had this consolidation period all through, really, it was like all of March and then into April as well. Rocketed up one more time to 30,000, got a solid close below there. And then I need to remove these drawings. Let's remove these so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Now we're kind of looking back to retest this parabola one more time. So I don't mind going sideways for a little bit because I understand like once we get around here, it's going to rocket up. So, I mean, that puts us, let's say, one extra week, 717 and then 724. We should, going into early August, see another rocket up to 37,000 somewhere. I've been saying that for weeks, and I'm still believing it. There's been nothing at this point to invalidate what I've seen. Where we're seeing this consolidation, and then we go that way. So let's go back to that. We'll go to this. Nope. Presentation. This one always gets me. Okay, so back here, we'll hide these drawings just for a second. We'll bring them right back. On the daily chart, if we see what we did for the past several days, I mean, again, we got up here, we took this rocket from 25,000 all the way to 30,000 in late June. And then we kind of did this whole little ranging action for all this time. But I mean, one thing that I look at is if we look at the closes. So again, you have your closes right here that could barely get past 31,000 could barely get past 30,000 on the daily. I think your lowest close might have been right here, which is like 30,348 is what this is telling me. And then this one was, yeah, we still haven't had a daily close below 30,000 just yet. But one thing that gives me a little bit of optimism right here is this trend line. Even though we are still in we'll get some of this out the way. Even though we are still technically in a downtrend, one thing that we can look at, I mean, we're in a range pretty much. But one thing that we can look at is the fact that price, even though we're ranging, we're slowly going up. And that's going to lead us to continuing up to this line pretty much. And what I was saying earlier about the moving averages is like this gives us time, even if we're just going on this sideways, this gives price the opportunity to actually pull up. And I see the moving averages as somewhat of dynamic support and resistance depending on which way you're going. So you could come up this way, touch down, tap down again, but it gives you more and more support as we continue to move up, even if we're just moving sideways. So with that, I think, do we need to talk about anything else? What happened on the 4-hour chart? Yeah, let's go a little bit more granular. So looking at this, the start of this week happened. I said we could range a little bit and then we could rock it off. I said we could potentially come back down to 28,000, 29,000. That's still very much so a possibility. In my mind, that's one of the worst case scenarios. I mean, it always could go lower, but I don't think it's very probable that this goes below 29,000, I should say. So coming down here, again, we've tapped off at 30,000, bounced off. What did we get up to? We got a 30,856. So yeah, Monday came out the gate pretty strong, actually. And then we kind of ranged a little bit, still going up. And then we had a bit of a dump down during the week. I can't remember what the major news stories this week were outside of this one right here, which is Ripple. So on Thursday morning, actually, I was in the middle of trading and I just got all these alerts. I was like, why am I getting so many alerts? And I looked at my phone and Bitcoin's price had just absolutely rocketed to the upside. So I went to check the news, see what was going on, and come to find out that Ripple won. Actually, they didn't win. They got a key verdict in their case against the SEC. Basically, the judge who's residing over this case has said that Ripple is not a security if it is being sold on the exchange. Now, if it's being directly sold from Ripple itself or to the public, then it is considered a security. But yeah, if it's just being sold on the exchange, it's not a security. And that's huge because that sets a very big precedent for a lot of the different cryptocurrencies. And you saw the entire crypto market absolutely explode on this news. So even if we look at Ripple, let's go take a look at Ripple. Where's that? Ripple. Yeah, this was an absolute God candle. It was ridiculous. We'll take a look here. Yeah, so we were down here at roughly 46 cents. And then in a matter of hours, we were up at 94 cents. So almost 100% move in a couple hours. So if we get even granular with that, this is a 5-minute candle. So in 5 minutes, we went from, actually it was climbing this entire time. So we went from 70 cents. Oh no, wait, this is on Saturday. Let's zoom in a little. Let's zoom out. Saturday. Let's go to Thursday yeah. So if we look at this, these are 5-minute candles we're seeing. So in a matter of minutes, we went from here all the way to here, and we just saw the moving averages explode. 99% up to the upside, and then it did come down and consolidate, but we are seeing a little bit more movement at this point. But anyway, that is Ripple. We'll go back to Bitcoin. And then we'll go back to the 4-hour chart. So what happened here, right? Like, what do we have? So on the 4-hour chart, we do have these, let me see. Yeah, we were talking about Ripple. So really my prediction honestly stays the same as what it was. It stays the same. Like I don't have any reason to believe that we're going to go any differently. I don't know what happened to my drawings. I had some drawings here and nope. Okay. Backtesting, was it on there? There it is. Okay. Yeah. So, we had these, my prediction really stays the same for the next week. I mean, I'll clean this up a little bit. I don't think it'll go that far down, but overall I see us doing something like this. Again, we're still really at the exact same spot that we were in last week. So let's say we come down and we could potentially come back down to, I don't know, 28, 29,000, somewhere in this zone. So if we take a little peek here, we could continue on. I think the overall direction is still up, or we could absolutely just continue to range for the rest of the week. That's still acceptable. So I mean, we're still right at that 30,000, and this 30,000 has continued to prove strong. I think we could potentially continue to follow this trend line up a little bit in terms of daily closes. But that's still yet to be seen. The other option is that we could, like I said, just range all this way. So let's come over here. That'll put us at Sunday the 23rd, roughly right there. So yeah, we could see. I think August should be pretty exciting as well. I don't see it being unlikely that we could potentially get up to 37,000 in the month of June, but July. And it's not going to be a straight line, right? There's going to be some little pauses here, and then it's going to be some little pauses here, and then it could just rocket up. But it just depends on what the news is and what comes out. So we will have to see. But other than that, I don't have a ton else. Again, it was an exciting week in terms of news because, again, that Ripple case is huge. It is huge. It sets a precedent for the rest of the crypto market. You have the Bank of England. Well, you have England, who is the UK, I should say. They are, I think they've approved a spot ETF. I think that should go live, I want to say in August. A spot ETF for Bitcoin, which is what we're trying to do over here in America. But the SEC, they got their own set of problems. I think BlackRock's ETF it's been accepted. That doesn't mean it's been like approved and like we've done all that just yet, but it is at the point where the SEC seems to find what they've put adequate, and now it's just a matter of them looking through it and making some type of final consensus. So before the end of July, we could potentially have a spot ETF or some type of news on it. And when we do get that, as soon as we get the news that a spot ETF will go through, there's going to be an absolute rocket in price, because that's been one of the major narratives since the beginning of June. I think that's about it news wise. We'll continue to watch it as we always do, but you just got to be ready for whatever happens. So that's all I got for this week. So I will talk to y'all next week. I hope y'all have a good trading week. And then I'll see you on the moon. Take care.